All right, how's everybody doing today? Welcome back to You Don't Know Ball. We got another mock simulation reaction coming to y'all. I had a lot of fun with the Pro Football Network one that we did just the other day, so I figured it's only right we do it again. You know, we finally got some trades incorporated. I'm hoping for some more. Honestly, I just had a lot of fun with this one, so it's only right we did it again. Without further ado, let's get right into it. First off the board, Caleb Williams. No explanation needed, as always. Number 2 again, Drake May. You know, I heard Adam Schefter just say the other day the Commanders fans might be able to just start ordering Jaden Daniels jerseys now. When Shefty says something like that, again, that's a lot of smoke. And when there's a lot of smoke, there's usually fire. I do at this point expect Jaden Daniels to go number 2. I don't think we're going to be seeing Drake go number 2, which is interesting because now that it opens up, kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't know, but the bottom line is it opens up a lot of possibilities where we don't know where Drake's going to go. Again, I don't think it's the Commanders, and I don't really think it's the Patriots either, right? And all of a sudden, we're kind of starting to ask ourselves, where's Drake May going to end up landing on draft night? All right, then we got Jaden Daniels here at number 3 to the Patriots. Definitely something I could see happening. You know, in the last one we did, they took J.J. McCarthy right here. Again, personally, I like JJ a lot. I like his ceiling. But from a floor perspective, and if you throw him into the fire right away, kind of like how I say about Drake, I just don't like it. I wouldn't have liked JJ in this situation, but then Jade in this situation makes way more sense. I think he would have much better chance to thrive and be successful. So Jade at number 3, I definitely like that a lot more than JJ McCarthy. And then Marv again at number 4. No explanation needed. Again, barring a trade, this will be where Marv goes because the Cardinals very much need a receiver. They're going to be the first ones in line to really be able to actually take that swing on him, even though it's not really a swing. More like be able to just take the home run shot knowing that you're getting the home run ball. You know what I mean? The bottom line is, Marv has to go somewhere. He's going to go early. It's going to be the first team that doesn't have a QB need, and it very likely will be the Cardinals if they don't trade down. All right, and then at number 5, we got Malik Neighbors. Normally in these mocks, how it starts to go is that we get, the big 3 receivers kind of just going in a row here. So it's never a surprise to see Malik following suit, with Marvin. And again, with the Chargers, you figure that they're probably going to go an offensive weapon after they just lost Keenan Allen, right? We got to give Herbert his weapons. We have him on the big contract. It makes plenty of sense to see Malik go right here at pick 5. All right, and then Joe Alt again here at number 6. And just as I said last time, as I've been saying, I'm keeping him at left tackle. I'm not a fan of this landing spot because we're going to have to move him to right tackle. But the reality of the situation is you're getting fantastic value no matter what as long as you get Joe Alt past pick 5. I mean, regardless, you could be getting good value anywhere. Like even, in a normal draft where there's not so many, it's not so QB heavy. I mean, you could take Joe Alt anywhere past 2 and feel comfortable with it. Again, I'm talking about such a high floor, high ceiling prospect. But I just don't like him in a scenario where he has to switch from his natural position from that left tackle over to that right tackle. All right, and then at pick 7, again, here we got Olo Fashanu. And as I said before, I still love this pick. For a team that desperately needs a left tackle, desperately needs to shore out those trenches for Will Levis. It's exactly what you're doing. And as I always say, it's not the flashy picks usually in the first round that make you go deep in the playoffs long term. It's a bunch of the small accumulation of the picks where everyone's scratching their head, not really understanding. But you understand building up those trenches. It's about the long-term success. Again, these are the type of picks you got to make. Not flashy, but for long-term success. All right, we got a little trade here with the Bears and the Falcons just exchanging one spot. Very interesting. Bears said, you know what, I'm going to go up and get my guy. We don't want to take a risk on you stealing him from us, taking Dallas Turner. Again, I don't know how realistic of a trade this is, but hey, you know what? Bears fans moving up a little bit, getting their, I know that Bears fans, how they have a few of their guys. I know Dallas Turner is definitely one of the guys that Bears fans would be definitely very happy to have on that defensive line rotating, just going crazy, adding pressure, getting Montez Sweat more one-on-ones, helping out Gervon Dexter's development. So, yeah, no matter what, I mean, as long as you're going D-line or O-line with your other first-round pick, I think you're getting fantastic value. Trading up for Dallas Turner, certainly nothing wrong with it, and definitely getting good value on that one as well. Oh, right, and we're getting crazy now. Look at this. So now the Falcons did a trade with the Vikings, and then we get the Vikings shooting up for J.J. McCarthy, which again, as I've been saying, for months now, very, very possible. It is the way I view it, very likely. And, you didn't have to really make too much of a crazy move. You didn't have to shoot up too far or lose too many assets. So if you're a Vikings fan, you got to feel good about this one. And then if you're a Falcons fan too, you don't have to fall very far. Still can definitely get one of your guys right here. So it's really a win across the board for both teams. All right, and look at that. Finally, man. It's probably been about 7 in a row that we did where we had Talise Fuaga going right here to the Jets. Finally, the cards fell a little bit different. Rome falling a little farther than usual, but definitely not falling, too far out of range or anything. And right here at pick 10 to the Jets, we're giving Aaron Rodgers, one of his new best friends. Aaron Rodgers would love to have Rome Odunze on that roster. They would for sure form a very, very potent connection. So if you're a Jets fan, this is just another money pick where if you're the Jets, you're kind of in a range where you're going to have a good selection really no matter what, the way that these drafts have been going, because there's so much talent and so many teams are going to be moving around kind of around you. But what's kind of set where the position groups you need are not something that where people are going to be trying to shoot up for and steal away from you. So if you're the Jets, you're in a good position, no matter what, for the real draft. And it's been a lot of fun to see what they do in these simulated mocks whenever they don't go the Talise Fuaga route. Because if Rome was a Jet, it definitely would be very interesting. All right, and then we got the Falcons taking a little bit of a different route than I thought they were going to take, but certainly nothing wrong with it either. I like it. Terrion Arnold right here, now all of a sudden we're really shoring up the DBs. And, again, because I thought they were going to go the D-line route, but hey, defense no matter what. We know Raheem Morris, new head coach, they're probably going to go defensive route early. And as I say, Terrion Arnold, cornerback 1, DeJean is a safety. I was just because, some people still, I don't know how, they might not know that yet. To me, DeJean's a safety. I think to most teams, DeJean will be a safety. So Terrion Arnold, cornerback 1. I mean, you got to feel happy about taking him off the board here at pick 11, pairing him up with A.J. Terrell. I mean, again, all of a sudden, that DB room, we got Jesse Bates there for safety. Like, all of a sudden, Falcons DB room's really coming together. Oh, right, and then we got the Broncos making a trade with the Dolphins. The Dolphins coming up here and stealing Talise Fuaga, and I love it, man. Because, the way you'd view it, obviously, for the Dolphins is all of a sudden Talise not playing tackle anymore, most likely going to be kicked into guard. But as you know how I feel about it if you've been listening for a little while, I think Talise still has absolutely astronomically high upside if you kicked him over to guard. I mean, the punch, the size, the athleticism. If you transition him to a guard, especially in a power scheme where he's going to be pulling, getting on the move, I mean, I love it. And Talise Fuaga to the Dolphins, definitely one we haven't seen yet because this is finally, we found a mock simulator that trades and uses its head and organizes things with each other. And you got to love it, man, especially if you've watched a lot of the PFF mock sims because this is just a breath of fresh air a lot. Man, I love this. These are just a lot of fun. All right, and then at pick 13, definitely a wild card. Did not expect this one. We got Amarius Mims to the Raiders. Now, questions arise, is Munford getting kicked to the swing tackle, kind of like rotational role, getting kicked inside? Because with Amarius, it's like, I don't think he's playing guard, and then obviously we're not going to have him taking Miller's spot. It's interesting. Like, I don't hate it, but at the same time, I'm not really understanding the value of it when you have so many other needs, especially the QB need. There's a lot of questions that arise when you make a pick like this. But at the end of the day, it's just a mock simulator. I can't think too much into it. And, maybe they are thinking, whatever, like I said, Munford, moving him around, I don't know. But, I don't know. The computer has some type of plan in mind. But regardless, this right here at pick 13, certainly a wild card. All right, and then at pick 14 to the Saints, we got Troy Fautanu. And, this has happened a lot in the PFF sim mocks. It's happened now in this one. And just so I don't seem like I'm harping, repeating the same thing over and over again, Troy to the Saints, would absolutely love it. We need versatility on the line. We need linemen. Troy would love to have you on the Saints. All right, and then at pick 15, the rumors came true in this sim mock. Because again, as I said in the other one, if you haven't heard of the rumors yet, Colts would very much like to find a way to get Brock Bowers on that roster. And, I completely understand it. You had Brock Bowers to that roster with that young receiving core that's really coming together. Well, all of a sudden, we're really setting Anthony Richardson up for success. I can never argue about that, especially with the O-line coming together the way it is. I mean, all of a sudden, you get Brock Bowers on this offense. This offense is really, really moving with juice. Now we just got to get some things shored up on the defense. But if Brock Bowers were to go to the Colts, I might say at this point that's my favorite landing spot for him, just because the way that it would help the Colts build while still, I want to see Anthony Richardson succeed. I think it'd be a lot of fun. The Colts really might be my favorite landing spot for Brock at this point. The simulated mock, whatever you want to call it, part of the offseason that we're going through here. All right, we got another trade. The Seahawks and the Bucks making a little swap here. The Bucks shooting up for Quinyon Mitchell, knowing they need a DB. Again, not a fan of this, especially because you're giving up assets. Moving up for, even though DB is your need, I feel like you could have moved up, taken another interior lineman, an edge rusher that's still a premier edge off the board. I mean, again, I love Quinyon. I think he has very high upside. But for a corner, giving up assets when you already have so many needs. To be honest with you, I'm just not the biggest fan of that. But, you're getting a good player in Quinyon Mitchell. I can't argue anything about that, so it's not bad value all in all. All right, and then we got 2 corners off the board back-to-back right here at pick 17 to the Jags. We got Nate Wiggins. Again, definitely don't mind this pick at all. Same as I said about the Bucks. I would much prefer a team that has desperate interior O-line needs to go with the interior O-line, or you could even argue they have even tackle needs to an extent. I mean, they have O-line needs just across the board. So yeah, I don't really think going DB here, especially potentially injury-ridden. There's some questions about Nate Wiggins. Going with Nate Wiggins specifically, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of it. But then also, as I say, for a team like the Jags, you're in that home run range. Nate Wiggins is definitely one of those players that fits into the category of a potential home run player with the athleticism, the length. So, you know what? I can't knock it. If Nate Wiggins ends up developing into the player that he could be, this would be fantastic value here at pick 17. So, all right, and then at pick 18 to the Bengals here, Brian Thomas Jr. Definitely one we haven't seen yet in these simulated mocks, but I love it because, again, you got T on the franchise tag. Who knows how that's going to go? Who knows if the re-sign is getting done? And regardless, you don't really have much depth outside of that, right? Your receiver room, you're not too confident in, minus Jamar and T. So all of a sudden, we had some real firepower where we're really coming together. The tight end signings that we made in the offseason, like the Bengals offense, then you had Brian Thomas Jr. All of a sudden, even if you lose T this next season, we're still basically right where we would have been with the guy with such high upside as Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, you got to love it if you're a Bengals fan. All right, and then at pick 19 to the Rams, J.C. Latham. We've definitely seen this one before, and nothing's changed since we last saw it. I love this landing spot so much. I think this would be one of the best landing spots for him. You throw him in, you definitely can start him right away. You definitely could rotate a little bit, give him some time. This is a line where we could play him at tackle, we could play him at guard. We got a lot of offensive line needs. Wherever the Rams feel that he fits best is where he'll play. So J.C. Latham to the Rams, by far one of the best landing spots for J.C. All right, and then at pick 20 for the Steelers, definitely one we haven't seen yet, but I love this one. We got Kool-Aid McKinstry. And why I love it is because obviously we know Steelers just traded for Dante Jackson. We got Joey Porter Jr. coming off the really impressive rookie season. And as I've said, though, what I love about Kool-Aid is you get versatility. Like, we can drop Kool-Aid in that slot where the Steelers really don't have much depth right now. All of a sudden, we got, we got our starting slot, we got Dante we just traded for, and we got Joey coming off the really impressive rookie year. All of a sudden, right, we got Minka in the back. This DB room is really coming together, so I can't knock this pick at all. Steelers could definitely go a lot of different directions right here, but going Kool-Aid, as much of a wild card as it is that we haven't seen yet, I love it. I think you're getting great value, as I say. Kool-Aid, some people don't like him going as earlier because, as I say every time, they just haven't seen enough recently. People get recency bias. Kool-Aid is still a first-round player, no doubt about it in my mind, and I think you're actually getting fantastic value right here if you're the Steelers. All right, and the Lions making a trade as the Broncos trade down again, and they shoot up for Jared Verse, who is still somehow on the board here. And if the draft goes this way and you're a Lions fan, man, oh man, you just got to feel like you were one of the winners of the draft. I mean, that is just egregious value here at pick 21. Getting Jared Verse on this Lions D-line, the much-needed firepower that they need. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson on one side, Jared Verse on the other, Aleem McNeil in the middle. Oh yeah, all of a sudden this Lions D-line is really coming together and you're going to have a ferocious unit. All right, and then perfect fit, Cooper DeJean to the Eagles here at pick 22. Definitely one of my favorite landing spots for Cooper this entire draft, if not the best. I mean, again, I say, Cooper to me is a safety. A team like the Eagles that needs a safety, needs depth across the board in the DB area. Cooper going to the Eagles, probably the best landing spot for him. And I don't know where he's going to fall, but if he's available right here at pick 22 and the Eagles have a chance to take him off the board, would not at all be surprised to see that be the case, as I'm sure many Eagles fans would agree with. All right, and then the Falcons sitting at pick 23 from the trade down, and they got to feel damn good. And also, let me clarify. So the Falcons not only took the Vikings' initial pick at 11, they also took 23, which I didn't realize until recently because I didn't look all the way down here. So when they traded up for JJ, basically they gave up both their first round picks. So also here at pick 23, the Falcons on that trade down. I mean, talk about a haul here, man. We got Latu at pick 23 and Terrence Arnold at pick 11. All of a sudden with Raheem Morris doing backflips because this defense is really coming together. And if you're a Falcons fan in the draft where to go this way, man, oh man, just like I just said about the Lions, you have got to feel like you're one of the winners of the entire draft. This is egregiously good value. All right, and then at pick 24 to the Cowboys, we got Graham Barton. fantastic landing spot for Graham because a team like the Cowboys who has, potentially more than one area to fill out on the O-line right now. You're getting a guy who can fill any of those spots. Again, bring him in, camp, see where we like him most. Wherever we like him most, we're going to play him. So a team like the Cowboys for Graham, who has that position versatility, would just be one of the best landing spots far and away. And even though we don't see it often in these sim mocks, would not at all be surprised to see Graham go to the Cowboys at pick 24. And then at pick 25 to the Packers, we got Jerzon Johnny Newton. I love this pick right here. Definitely one of the more wild card selections. We definitely have not seen this one in any of the sim mocks we've done so far. But I love it because even though interior might not be like the biggest need ever for the Packers, you want to have guys rotating in that spot. You're going to have now a lot of young guys that are able to rotate in that spot. And Jerzon Newton, the upside he possesses, where you're getting a guy who very well can start, a 3-down guy, and then again rotate your other young guys whenever you're getting tired. But I think no matter what, at pick 25, you're getting just fantastic value here for Jerzon Newton. You're getting a guy that can stop the run, that's really good pass rusher for his size, very quick for his size, would fit very well in this Packers D-line. And again, like I always say, you can just really never have too much trenches, especially in the first round where the flashy picks are not always the one that win you games. It's the ones like this, shoring up those trenches. All right, and then we got the Seahawks off the trade down with the Bucks, making me smile, taking Jackson Powers-Johnson off the board right here. And mind you, with fantastic value, because in a lot of the old mocks that I would do, I would just have him taking him right off the board here at pick 16 when they came up on the board. You traded down, still got your guy, best interior lineman in this year's class in my opinion, and you got him at pick 26, and you got assets. I mean, that's just a fantastic win for the Seahawks, and in this mock, definitely one of the teams that won the first round. All right, and if you're the Cardinals here at pick 27, man, you have got to be doing backflips seeing this one if this was the real draft. You got Marv at number 4, and then you got Byron Murphy at pick 27. Oh my goodness. Again, I love Byron Murphy. I don't think he's fallen like this. But if he does fall to pick 27 and you potentially got the best interior defensive player in the entire class, you've got to feel so good about that. And I've been saying a lot recently, a lot of these teams in the back end of the first round. But if in this sim mock, the Cardinals by far, you could even argue the winners of this. I mean, that value is just unbelievable. All right, we got a little trade here with the Niners and the Bills. Bills moving down to 31, Niners moving up here to 28, taking Tyler Guyton off the board. And as I said, in the last sim mock we just did, Tyler Guyton in the first round, I don't think that there's any team where I see the value besides the Niners. And the Niners thinking to themselves, just in case that, the Ravens are thinking the same thing, or the Bills are thinking, same thing, where they just want to give a guy who has such high upside a year, let him sit, let him learn. You know what? We're not going to give him the opportunity. We're just trading up and taking our guy off the board right here. Now, again, I don't know if it's the best idea because I don't really think that any of these other teams would go that route. But, I don't know. Potentially they could. And Niners clearly thinking the same thing. If Tyler Guyton's your guy, you want to shoot up just a few picks, not give it that many assets, take him off the board, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And again, the Niners are the one spot that I really love for Tyler Guyton. So if you're a Niners fan, you didn't give up too much, and you got, your guy, a guy with such high upside, learning behind Trent Williams, giving him a year to sit, I think you'd be getting great value right here no matter where you get him, as long as you're not shooting up too far. But only shooting up 3 picks, nothing wrong with that. All right, and then we got the Broncos all the way down here at pick 29 off of the trade down. But you got to feel damn good about it if you're a Broncos fan. You collected all those assets. You end up getting your QB, Bo Nix. Now, again, as I say about some other guys, just like Tyler Guyton, where for Bo Nix, it's the same thing where I don't like him in really like any landing spot, almost any landing spot. But the Broncos is that one spot where Sean Payton shown the ability to work with a smaller quarterback, right? The offense is very in rhythm. There's not a lot of deep stuff down the field. Bo Nix going to the Broncos would be like the spot for him. And if you're the Broncos, you're able to trade down, get all those assets to surround Bo in the future, and still got your guy. You got to feel damn good about that value right there. All right, and then Chop Robinson's the Ravens here at pick 30. I just love this pick. The Ravens losing Jadeveon Clowney in free agency. You got to get another edge in the building. We got to keep this rotation going. Got to be still, they led the league in sacks last year. We want to keep it going. We want to keep those sack numbers up. We had a guy with Chop Robinson's athleticism, upside. Let him grow, let him develop in this system. And I think you're just getting fantastic value pick 30. Again, Chop could definitely go earlier than this. He could go a little bit later, but I think it's going to be right in this range, anywhere from 20 to 40. And getting him here at pick 30, you got to feel like you're getting great value, especially in this Ravens defense, where can very much thrive. All right, and then off the trade down, we got the Bills taking Keon Coleman off the board. Just, a big, he's fast. Where it's like that 40 time don't want to fool you. We talk about game speed a lot. Like Keon Coleman's game speed a lot faster than he looked at the combine. He's just one of those game speed guys. So you're getting a fast, big, athletic, just kind of freak of nature receiver. And again, I'm aware of the separation issues. I know that, it might not be a seamless transition. But what I do want to say is that, if you always go to the Bills, by far one of the best spots. Josh Allen, he's going to be looking his way. He's going to be putting in spots where only Keon can get it. And you kind of, you put him in Buffalo. It's kind of a situation where if he fails, it's on him. And I'm going to be banking on Keon to show up, be able to actually be a productive pro, especially if we were to fall to a team like the Bills. I'm not going to worry too much about the combine. I get it. It's shaky. He is very much one of those 50-50 guys. But as I talk about with home runs, the Bills' premier team, you got to take home run shots. Keon Coleman, very much in that realm of being a potential home run prospect. So if you're the Bills, can't feel bad about taking this shot right here. All right, then to close us out here at pick 32, we got the Chiefs taking Adonai Mitchell. We've seen this one a couple times before, but just to refresh, would love Adonai Mitchell on the Chiefs. Speedy, big, long, amazing catch radius, would work so well with Mahomes. I mean, whatever route the Chiefs decide to go here for a receiver, you got to feel good about it. If you're a Chiefs fan, we know Mahomes can turn a lot of guys into productive guys. But also we've seen, the Chiefs have also missed in some of these guys. I think you can feel very confident in Adonai Mitchell, his athletic profile, the way he would fit into this scheme. You could get him on sweeps. You can do a lot of things with him in this scheme. All right, and that'll do it for today's simulated mock reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did. Love the fact that PFN, we got trades going on. We got a ton of action, and I love bringing these to you guys. Again, cannot wait for the real draft. We're getting so close. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, drop a sub. We would love to see you back soon. You have a great rest of your day.